Is it on the bar? Yeah, it is. I admittedly haven't been playing all that much lately after finishing fucking everything. It's weird that Racoin's done, but technically not. Because I think I've gotten a clear on everyone. However, the game wants max clear difficulties on all characters, and I'm just like, oh, I might as well die. Ratcoin's pretty fun though. I like that they were able to elegantly adapt the Balacho formula to coin pushers. So thinking about it as I play, is a coin pusher machine an arcade game or a casino game? So I don't think I've ever actually seen a coin pusher. Ooh, you are taking long to load the tape, boy howdy. So, last time on Shadowrun Hong Kong, we did, the girls' side quests. We had to, first we had to raid a hacker convention to help Isabel get her memories back, and what we originally thought was, you know, a big old caper to steal a data jack key for Isabel's memories was in fact just a really weird misunderstanding. And after that, after playing Team Counselor and getting all that done, we got Isabel's memories back, for better or worse. And then we immediately had to go into Gobbet's side quest to clear out the sinking ship of Devil Rats. And yeah, we did the Rat King thing, and we saved the sinking ship. Like, everybody there's fine for the most part. I still think Gobbet's mentor is gonna die? But that felt like it was a given anyway. We have anything in the emails? Not really. Anything in BBS? Not really. Oh, hey, right, I completely forgot about this. This wonderful... 800 bucks is not bad. Did you exhaust Isabel since returning from Gobbet? No, we literally just got back and called it an evening. God, was Duncan with us? No, Duncan was not with us for the last mission. As you step inside Isabel's cabin, she turns to face you. The desk she's been working at is a mess. Food wrappers, computer expansion cables lie together in a heap. Isabel herself doesn't look that much better. Her eyes are badly bloodshot and her lips have been drawn into a deep frown. You're back, hey. What do you need? How are you holding up? Not great. I'll manage. Don't climb up on me. Tell me what's going on. When I unlocked these old memories, I told you that they were crystal clear, right? Every detail was perfect? It still is that way, and I think it'll always be. Then I guess the question is, if memories aren't going to change, can you adapt to living with them? Honestly, I don't know. It's like having an eidetic memory? I'm stuck with a perfect record of every shitty thing that I saw and felt during my childhood in hell. It's not an easy thing to live with. I know a guy back in the Barrens who got his arms hacked off with a machete. Pretty sure that he can't forget his past either, but he found a way to live with it. That's a different kind of pain, but I appreciate what you're trying to say. Anyway, let's get down to business. The sooner we're done with the walled city, the sooner I can try to move past this. I think I've had enough time to process what's in my head. I should be able to give you some answers about the walled city. Not all of them, mind you, but something. So if you have a question, ask. Let's see where this goes. How did you get out there when you were a kid? How did you escape? Yeah, I know what eidetic memory is, I just didn't know how to pronounce it, because when I saw that word, I was like, oh, I've never actually heard this word spoken. Gobbet led me out. Really? She must have been, like, what, 9 years old? Something like that. Go ahead and ask her about it if you want. I'm sure that she'll be happy to brag about it, but I think we have more pressing matters to discuss. Is that all I have for the dialogue?
I don't know, I can't tell.
Ah, fuck, you're right. Any thoughts on the last run? You know what drives me crazy about Gobbet? She does shit like this all the time. She doesn't think about anything, not about the risks she takes, the consequences of her actions, or how her behavior can hurt her friends. She just jumps headfirst into whatever crazy scheme she's got in her head, and damn everyone else. Maybe after this she'll finally learn her lesson. I have to say, I didn't expect to get off the sinking ship without blowing it apart. My money was setting on fire to the whole thing and letting it burn. You really pulled out all the stops. I can't believe we had to face down some kind of rat demon god thing, but we did. I'm sure there's a lesson there somewhere, but I'll be damned if I know what it is. I think I need more time for Isabel to unpack, which is fine because we still have a mission. How long is that extra campaign anyway? Because I am curious about it. Stepping into Gobbet's cabin, you find her crouching on the floor. She appears to be midway through a valiant struggle against an enormous pastry. Her cheeks bulge out like a chipmunk's, and wispy threads of pork floss hang from her crumb-speckled lips. She glances at you, eyes wide with alarm. Her jaw works up to manage the enormous quantity of crispy dough in her mouth, but she doesn't seem to be making much headway. You know, between the two of you, my money's on the pastry. She struggles to move her jaw, but her mouth is stuffed too full for her to make much headway. She gestures feebly towards a pitcher of water on the ground near you. Hand her the pitcher. She tilts back the pitcher and sucks down the contents. As the water pours into her mouth, she's slowly able to work through the food stored in her cheeks. Finally, she lowers the water pitcher, coughing. Okay. Yeah. Note to self, the pastry terrorist makes them dry. Most green apples and jelly trotter my ass. That thing was like desert made out of pig. I need it. Hey, if you want it, it's all yours. Drink lots of water, though. She tosses you the remaining pastry. As it sails through the air, the pork floss that clings to its outer layer flutters suggestively. Catch it. It's surprisingly dense with a heft rough equivalent to that of a softball. Eat that bitch. You raise the pastry to your lips and take a bite. Seconds later, you can feel all of the moisture in your mouth evaporate. Goblet wasn't lying. This thing is dry. Surprisingly palatable, though. I can't believe you ate that. Impressed. I read that wrong. If I ever get another one of those again, I'm gonna let it sit in a bowl of condensed milk for at least half an hour before putting it in my mouth. It might, I don't know, help reconstitute it, I guess? It might work. Anyway, you probably want to talk about what happened on the raft, huh? I think if I was in your place, I would. First of all, I should thank you. You and Iz came to help me, even though I didn't ask you. Or want you to. Actually, I should probably be upset about that. But the important thing is that you did help me. I'm not gonna say I could have handled it without you, but it would have been really dicey. You could say that again. That was pretty bad. Yeah, it was definitely that. On the bright side, we overthrew Malvina and put the raft back in Cad's hands. That feels pretty great. And the shiny object is at the bottom of the Hunghorn Bay, lodged in a bank of silt and crab shit. That's pretty much where it belongs. But I gotta admit, something is gnawing at me. Before you and Iz showed up, I was gonna sink the raft. I got halfway through arming the chargers, and I was gonna send the whole thing down in flames. Everyone on it would have died. Cad, Yasmin, all of them. All because I made up my mind early and didn't want to change it. Kinda makes me think. How many times before now have I done what I seemed like the right thing, you know? Follow my gut like I taught you without realizing there was a better option. This whole introspection thing kinda sucks, I gotta say. It's much more comforting to just assume that all the past decisions were right. Sure is. It's intellectually dishonest, but it's comforting. Yeah. You know, Seattle, you aren't helping my mood any. Kinda having a tough time over here. She begins to pace, kicking piles of dirty clothes and blankets out of the way. Thrusting her hands into her pockets, she fishes out Madness and Folly and tosses them on her cot. I don't do this very often. Reflecting is for mirrors, not devastatingly attractive shamans. I don't know how you handringers deal with feeling this way. It's pretty simple. We acknowledge our mistakes and near misses, and we own up to them. Okay, I pretty much got that step covered. What's next? What comes after this? After you suffer through embarrassment for a while, you learn something from it. Huh. That's boring, Seattle, and it's complicated. And it comes with way too much bad feelings. But, yeah, I get it. There's probably some value there. I'm never gonna start second-guessing everything I do, though. That just isn't me. Maybe you could second-guess some things? Like when new information represents itself? What a novel concept. I could do that. And I will from now on. Cross my heart. Anyway, things turned out the way they did. I don't know what might happen if we tried to do something different, but there's one thing I can say for certain. Things are better in Hunghorn Bay than they were before we went to the sinking ship. We did some good out there. That's something. Yeah, it is. Okay, actually, there are two things I can say for certain. I think that Red is happy that the shiny object is gone. She fishes in her pocket for a few seconds and produces a chunk of stone the size of a marble. It appears to be made of the same marble red jade that the shiny object was. Check it out. She got me a present. Do you know what it does? Beats the hell out of me. I mean, I'm sure it's something. It does something. I mean, it has to, right? Rat wouldn't just give me a normal rock. She's a trickster and all, but that'd be mean. So, mark my words, the next time we're in the field, something magical is gonna happen. And I mean literally magical. Possibly explosions, it's hard to tell. It'll be a journey of discovery for the both of us. I am terrified to look forward to that. Me too, and thank you, Seattle. I really mean that. You can fly by my side anytime. So how are you adjusting to the gift that was given to you? It's good. I mean, not like morally good, but I think I could use it. What is it though? What does it do? Well, it's kind of like a grenade. When I throw it, it goes boom. Not here in the real world, but in the astral plane, it's pretty impressive. And as for what it actually does, it scares the shit out of anyone who gets caught in the blast. Makes them act like idiots. They run around with their hands in the air or forget who's shooting at them and stand around with their fingers in their ears. Handy, huh? Sure. I guess. So, here's the thing. When I use this thing, what I think I'm doing is opening a bunch of temporary cracks in the astral plane. Just little ones, only wide enough for sound to pass through. People in the blast areas can hear things on the other side. So, let's just say I throw the sucker and it goes off. Boom! All of a sudden, that poor slob could hear the things that got into Malvina shrieking in his brain. That doesn't sound like a very good idea. Rat may be a tricksy spirit, but like Coyote, Dog, and Dragon Slayer, when Rat is happy, the spirit makes sure that the relevant shamans know that they're happy. Ah. Was Dog Spirit in the SNES one? That was the one that helped us fight Drake Industries, wasn't it? Because if I remember right, was that?
Can't believe they gave her a grenade of the voices.
A recyclable grenade.
Throws my orb at you. What's this explosion? The demons in my mind.
Yes, Jake Armitage of the SNES game is a dog shaman. And then they kinda... Would you call it a retcon to say that he gave that up for Dead Man Switch? Because, like, for all Jake did for the SNES Shadowrun, he is pretty chromed, so he probably wasn't all that good a shaman. No, hear me out. It's pretty great, actually. The cracks are only temporary. They snap shut after a few seconds, so nothing can get through. There's no chance that the Rat King can come back. As for the people who got caught in the blast, what happens to them isn't pretty. In DMS, he's still a dog shaman, but he's a tutorial buddy, so he got nerfed. Ah. All the voices at once, yelling and babbling and cursing, doing the Rat King thing. It'd drive you nuts, right? That's basically what it does. It's like temporary insanity in a pebble. As long as you're comfortable using the thing, I'm all for it. How much do you have? That's the best part. After I use one of these and go to bed, I find another one in my hand the next morning. Tried it a couple of times now, and it keeps happening. Toss, explode, nap, visions of dancing rats, and ta-da! New pebble. Using this feels right in a way that shiny object never did. I think it's Rat's reward to me for taking Malvina down, or something. I don't know exactly. I never heard of this happening to anyone before. Anyway, it should help us moving forward, and considering where we're heading next, I think we could use all the help we could get. I got a question about Isabel. She told me that you let her out of the walled city when you were kids. Care to fill in the details? Yeah, I guess I'm not surprised. This has never been big on paddling a story with details. Want to tell your side of the story? Seems that I got a vested interest in the walled city these days. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll share. To start, I guess that you're going to need to know what the walled city was like when me and Iz were kids. She didn't tell you about that, did she? She didn't say much other than, you know, you saved her. Didn't think so. She reaches down, absent-mindedly stroking Madness's silky coat. The rat chirps happily at her caress. Well, for starters, you should know that the walled city wasn't always as bad as it is now. It was always dangerous, but 10 years ago it was just a run-of-the-mill slum. Still safe enough that walking in didn't qualify as a suicide attempt. Figured that what I saw there had to be the bottom of a downward spiral. Bottom? What you saw? No, Seattle. When you went into the Lowe's Den, you were on the outer perimeter of the walled city. What you saw earlier was the best of the walled city today has to offer. As you go deeper towards the center, it gets a whole hell lot of worse. Did you notice that when Gobbet gets nervous, she pets her rats? Interesting. I didn't parse that. Anyway, back when I was a kid, it was pretty much all like what you saw in the Lotus Den. Not exactly Victoria Harbor, but survivable if you knew what you were doing. Back then, I used to play in the walled city. Rat would lead me into all the nooks and crannies that grown-ups are too big to fit through. There was this other young shaman there that I used to play with. His name was Happy, or Lucky, or something like that. He followed Pig. Nice guy. Good card player. Obviously, none of this was a good idea. A teenage girl going into the walled city by herself, that's a recipe for disaster. I didn't realize any of this at the time, though. I loved playing in the alleys and crawl spaces of the walled city. It was fun. Where were your parents when you were doing all this? Dead, I think. Not exactly sure. They were gone, though, out of the picture. I was pretty much free to do whatever I wanted. Now, with Isabel, it was a little different. She wasn't a street kid, not technically. She had parents who loved her. They just couldn't keep her safe because in the walled city, there is no such thing. How bad was it for her? Oh, bad. Could have been a lot worse, of course. Her family could have been living deeper inside the wall, towards the center. From what I heard, that's hell on earth. But Isabel and her family had it bad enough. They were in the Mansion District. Sounds nice, right? But it really wasn't. Imagine a sort of holding pen for refugees from the Middle East and Africa. Basically anyone who's an Asian, European, or goblinoid. Now cram it full to twice its normal capacity to make sure that nobody living there can afford a loaf of bread. Why was it called the Mansion District? The locals named it after the Chungking Mansions out of Simsha Sui. Kind of an inside joke. The mansions are the unofficial African quarter of Hong Kong. Most of the free enterprise zone's African immigrants settle there if they can afford it. The destitute refugees like Iz and her family don't get to go to Chungking Mansions. They get herded into the walled city. And once they're inside, the Mansion District is where they wind up. Forced relocation, huh? I guess some things never go out of style. No, they don't. And once the refugees arrive in the Mansion District, the prospects don't exactly improve. The only things that most of the people in the mansion had in common were the color of their skin and the fact that they were living in crushing poverty. They didn't even have a common language to speak. It was a pretty rough place. Lots of infighting, lots of gang-on-gang violence. People did band together for protection, but there wasn't a lot of hope. Everyone lived in fear of being sent deeper in, towards the center. When you start getting dragged in that direction, you don't come back. Sounds like a charming place. Yeah, charming. And that's where I met Isabel. Yeah, it wasn't long before we became friends. She was interesting. I think that's why I let her latch onto me. The girl was smart and savvy, but just cripplingly shy. She didn't belong in the walled city. No one really does, but with her it was painfully obvious. She was like a little mouse crammed into a box full of weasels. It was only a matter of time before someone snapped her up. But you got her out of there before that could happen. That's right. More exactly, Rat got her out of there. She came to me in a dream, showed me that whatever was going on was bad in the walled city. Whatever was going bad in the walled city was getting worse. The whole place was rotting from the inside out, choking in bad chi and lost hope. I decided to go inside one more time. I found Isabel. I'd offer to lead her out. If I didn't, well... Yeah, but you did find her. Doesn't matter what would have happened if you didn't. Or doesn't matter what would have happened if you hadn't. Thanks. It isn't pleasant to think about, especially considering what a shithole the walled city is now. The truth is, if I hadn't pulled out Isabel, she'd probably be dead by now. I get it. Someone did the same for Duncan and me once. Yeah, I knew you'd get it. And I did bump into her, and she did follow me, and Rat got us both out safe. So there you have it. Happy endings all around. What about the other people who stayed behind? The other shaman that you knew? They went bad, crazy. That pig shaman that I knew wound up going full toxic. It was horrifying. He burned himself out in an orgy of blood. Ugh. Nasty business. Not for me. Do you regret not being able to save him? Regret? No, he was a shaman. He should have known what was coming. I was smart enough to get out when I could, and he wasn't. Bad luck for him, but that's what happens when you don't pay attention. What about Isabel's family? She said that they were still in the walled city. Why don't you bring them with you? You think I didn't want to? Look, it was going to be dangerous enough to get Isabel out on her own. Dragging a whole family out with her would have been impossible. Yeah, I get it. Probably would have done the same thing. Good. You would have been right to. Besides which, Isabel didn't want to bring her family. She wanted to get away from them as much as she wanted to get away from the walled city. Never could get her to tell me why. Well, after all that, got any more lessons for me? Nope. No more lessons, Seattle. You don't need them. You're as much as a runner as I am now. There might even be a thing or two that I could learn from you. All that can wait, though. We got this whole situation with the walled city and your foster dad and gun show and all that to take care of. It's kind of a mouthful. Lots of players involved, tons of intrigue. Honestly, I'm enthralled with the whole thing. Can't wait to see how it shakes out. Me either. Just we gotta see how this plays out together. Damn right we will. Oh, in Seattle? The pot on the hot plate. It's always full. I keep a soup going 24/7. If you ever want any, you're welcome. Just come in, I'd love the company. You got it. I'll be here with bells on. Leave him off. The jingle might scare Folly. There was this terrible incident at a Christmas pageant once, and, well, she bites. And for now, Seattle, if you excuse me, I'm gonna crash out for the night. Maybe sleep through tomorrow and get up when the sun goes down. That sounds right nice right about now. Tell me about it. Scurry along now. Your former mentor needs her rest. Complete Gobbet storyline. Yay. Interesting, does Ractor not have Achieva for that? Oh, I missed something there. This isn't helping. The Avatar frowns down on you, a look of supreme disillusionment on her face. I'm decking, I'm in my safe place, and it doesn't help. The memories are just as painful here as they are in the real world. Your memories are a part of you. Decking doesn't make you leave that behind. The invitation of soup from Gobbet, that's the pinnacle of trust from a rat shaman. Ah. That's such a cool, simple way of showing trust of, hey, I trust you enough to sit down and have a meal with you. And it's something that's, like, kind of taken for granted in our culture, honestly. Mainly because, in a way, meals feel like both, say, like, an expected obligation, and also a, something just, you know, to get through. But, like, meals for a lot of cultures are very important, and it's neat that, like, for Gobbet's symbol of trust to be, hey, I'll share some soup with you, buddy. No, I guess it doesn't. It fucking should, though. I can't handle not having a way to escape from this. So, what are you gonna do about it? Having eaten alone far too many times, I much prefer eating with company. I get the vibe from that, but I feel comfortable enough eating alone. Like, it is something that I have, you know, firmly accepted and at times enjoyed just because I like the process of cooking for myself and eating. But I would not say no to, like, you know, eating with friends. I'm antisocial, but I hate being alone. That's always the struggle. I don't know, okay? I just don't. You know what? Hang on. The Avatar winks off screen and the terminal powers down. Isabel's body shudders. A familiar tremor. Her consciousness is flooding back out of the Matrix and into her meat. Her eyes flutter and she takes a sharp breath. Slowly, shakily, she rises from her perch on the floor. It's interesting that they show this depiction of coming back into the Matrix, because I don't think it's depicted in Dead Man's Switch or Dragonfall, to where, like, consciousness almost sounds like helium in a balloon. And it's an expression of trust, and that's where the real comfort is. Ah, yeah. You're here with more questions, right? I'm sure that you are. Why else would you be bothering me? So spit them out and I'll go digging around in the cesspit of my memory. Who knows, maybe we'll find a clue. I know you're hurting, Isabel. If venting helps, go ahead. No. No, that wasn't like me. This isn't the person I want to be. I'll be okay. I can handle this. Just ask me your questions, okay? Let's get the ball rolling. Gobbet told me about your escape from the walled city, just like you said she would. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Why are you telling me about it? Because I want to get your side of the story. Alright, fine. If that's what you want. The walled city was a hellhole. You already know that, but for all its failings, it was a good teacher. It taught me to hide, to stay small and unnoticed and insulated, to survive. It taught me that the fish on the perimeter of the school gets eaten. That sticking your neck out is a fool's errand. But even fools have their uses. Rector does have an achievement for his story. Did I not get that? The achievement post-human. Hang on a second. I'm kind of curious if I got that or not. Chivo.
Means that there's pre-human.
Welcome to the Sixth World. Ronin, shoot straight, calling shots. I have not finished Raptor's side quest. Interesting.
I don't think you did, because after all that, I don't really didn't feel like you're doing much with Raptor.
It was odd because we did the quest, we got what he wanted at the end of his arc, he got his character upgrade, but we never did deal with the two scientists, and it felt like a, what's it called? It felt like a loose end. It also taught me to recognize a stronger person when I meet one, and how to use that strength to my own benefit. So, when I met Gobbet, I knew she had something I didn't. Yeah, I'm planning to talk to him. I needed that realization of we're not done with this quest yet. Confidence? Sure, that. And her connection to Rat. Everything about her, really. We were different people then. Still are now. But the difference were even more pronounced when we were kids. Care to elaborate on that? Goblin was always playful and carefree. She could hold her own in the scrape, but mostly she saw life as a game. As for me, well, I knew it wasn't. Yeah, I'm definitely, like, going for Gaichi's quest, but, you know, that thought of I'm not done with Ractor really, ruffles my skin. I couldn't have been more than 9 or 10 at the time, but at that age I saw Gobbet for what she represented. What she could be. And what was that? My own personal road out of the walled city. A path to freedom disguised as a little girl with dreadlocks. And as it turns out, I was right. She pauses, her eyes flit to the ground, she tightens her hands into fists. Ever since I locked these damn memories, I can't go 10 minutes without thinking what might have happened if I hadn't followed Gobbet out of that place. It's like a vicious cycle running over and over in my head. I hate it, but it won't stop. I feel guilty. God, line 3 is a good line, but also really fucking mean. You needed help and you took it. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, I would choose option 3 in a heartbeat if it didn't say get over it. It gives me another reason to feel grateful to her, I guess. That's something. I always knew that I owed Gobbet, but now I remember how much and why. Anyway, that's my side of the story. I hope it's satisfied your curiosity. Now, let's move on. There's 28 karma for grabs in the extended campaign. Ah. Why did you have your memories locked away? Why do you think? They were awful. Traumatic. I'm not talking about personal trauma here. I was fortunate enough to avoid the fates of many of my peers. I didn't get pressed into the services at a brothel. The organ leggers didn't get me. I only had to watch one of my siblings die. So, yeah, could have been worse. But that doesn't make an easy life in the walled city any easier to bear. Wait, hang on, you saw a sibling die? Yeah, my older brother Cabdel. Heroin overdose. He was 19, almost the same age I am now. I'm sorry you had to watch that. Me too. Want to hear something awful? I almost envied him. He got out easy compared to a lot of people in the walled city. There was no violence, he wasn't taken by an organ legger or gunned down by a triad. He just put a spike in his arm to press the plunger and stopped breathing. Quick and easy. You could have done the same, but you didn't. You're stronger than that. You were stronger than that. I survived. I don't know if that's something to feel proud of, it's just what I did. I don't think any less of Cabdel for doing what he did. I don't even know if he did it on purpose. But his death was a lesson, and I did my best to lean on it. To learn from it. Everything that happened in my childhood was that way. A lesson in disguise. Lessons about impermanence, the cruelty of life. Lessons about what a huge mistake it is to get attached, and how to prioritize your own survival, no matter what. Isabelle and Gobbet have one of the most fucked up childhoods I've seen in a game. The walled city doesn't fuck around. Those lessons are important. They kept you alive to today. But it's just as important to know when to leave them behind. Yeah, I know. But I'm having a hard time with that right now. We all carry the same scars. You and me, and Gunshow, and Gobbet. Some run bigger and deeper than others, but we all got them. I don't want mine anymore. And that's enough of that. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Gobbet said you didn't want to guide your parents out of the walled city. That you wanted to leave them behind. Yeah, but not for anything they'd done. My parents were good people. They fled Somalia to find a better life for the children. It wasn't their fault they wound up in the walled city. I wanted them left behind for me. You want to talk about it? Not particularly, but I get the feeling you will look at me differently until I do, so I will. I wanted them left behind because of this. She taps her temple. I knew what I was going to have done. I planned it well in advance. After I got out, I was going to find someone who could make my childhood go away. How would that have stuck if my parents were around? If I had a living reminder right next to me? It wouldn't have, so they had to stay. Did what you had to do. Yeah, I did. Besides, I was sure they'd be fine. They were my parents, grown-ups. They'd be alright. Before you ask, I checked. They're gone now. I can't go in riding to the rescue. I made a decision when I was a kid. I felt like it was the right one at the time, and now I have to live with it. We all have to live with things that we regret. I didn't always. Until very recently, I couldn't remember any of this. Interesting that there's no other dialogue left. Unless... Isabelle glances up at you. Her expression is grim. Combo, I've come to a decision. I want these memories out of my head. They're an unpleasant distraction, and I was happier without them. When all this is over, I'm deleting them. The hell with locking them away again. I'm going to purge my childhood altogether. Shred the memories and move on. As an added bonus, it'll clear up a lot of headwear memory. I think I could store some Simpsons recordings up there. Maybe make it so that when I remember my past, I get summers on the beach instead of sorrow and pain. This is a tough choice, actually. These memories are a part of you, and they're changed you. Purging them will kill that part of you again. Oh yeah? Good. The part of me that knows this shit would be better off dead. The rest of me will be a whole lot happier, too. Yeah, sure, I saw the same shit in the Barrens that I'd probably be happier to forget, but living through those experiences made me stronger. Good for you. I don't want to be strong. Not if this is the price. want to be I'm the one who has to live with this thing. Don't waste your breath telling me not to get rid of it. Anyway, I'm guessing you're here with more questions, right? Let's get them answered then. Is there anything else you could tell me about the Yamakings? Yeah, this is what we're looking for. Yeah, I got another one for you if you want it. I can't say whether this is based on any truth or not. That's for you to decide. But it was always popular when I was growing up, especially with the other kids my age. You'll see why we liked it in the end. You've piqued my curiosity. Okay, this is the one about a boy named Gordon Yam, and about how he saved his mother from a fate worse than death. As the story goes, Gordon was the cleverest boy in the city. He could steal whatever he liked without getting caught, could sneak into any room unseen, and could talk his way past any grown-up that might stop him. You get the picture. A real hero figure for the 9-year-old set. So one day, Gordon's mother falls ill. It was a bloody flux brought on by a curse and was going to kill her. She told Gordon that she should accept her death. The curse had come from a Yamaking, and there was no medicine that could prevent it from claiming her. She begged him to run, to escape the city, and to use his cleverness to make a life for himself somewhere far away. Gordon loved his mother and refused to obey her request. Instead, he searched high and low for a way to save her life. For a long time, nothing came to him, but finally he came upon an old man who told him about a powerful Yamaking that could cure any ill for a price. Which one? Of the ones you've told me about, or a different one? Different. He doesn't have a name, or he did, but because of what happened, speaking is taboo. The story's a little fuzzy on the details. We always just called him the Nameless King. So, Gordon went out in search of this king. He made his way through Triad territory, past the Thrill Gangers and Organ Leggers, you know, the drill. Eventually, he made it into the inner walled city, where he found the Nameless King's courtyard. The human servants of the king took Gordon to stand before the creature they worshipped, and Gordon proposed his deal. Nameless King, I need your help. My mother is dying of an ill that only you can cure. That may be so, but what is it to me? What will you offer me if I spare her? If you will restore her health, I will join your court in repayment. I, the cleverest boy in the walled city, I will serve you loyally and well. The Nameless King was excited then, for he knew of Gordon's cleverness and coveted the little boy's soul. Gordon pulled the braid of his mother's hair from his pocket and held it out before the Nameless King. A lock of my mother's hair, O King. Cure her of this flux, and I am yours to command as you please. What's the catch here? So what happened then? Did Gordon just join his court? No. When the Nameless King turned on Gordon, he laughed in the monster's face. I have tricked you, Nameless King, for my mother was the property of another of your kind. In curing her, you have robbed the Yamaking of his dinner. The Nameless King raged and turned on Gordon, his razor blade fingers flexing wide. But before he could bring his arm down in a killing stroke, it was caught in the grasp of 1,000 hooks, claws, and fangs. The Yamakings. All of them. You have stolen from one of your kind, brother, said the Yamakings. Her life was not yours to save. Gordon slipped away as the Yamakings descended upon their brother. He did not watch as they tore the Nameless King apart and bathed in his steaming viscera. He made his way back home to his mother, who was cured. And that was the one time a living boy outwitted a Yamaking. She stretches back, cracking her back, clears her throat awkwardly. And that's the story. Like I said, you can see why we liked it. It was a fairy tale, and the little boy wins in the end. It's the only story about a Yamaking that contains a shred of hope. What do you think it means? I don't know. Probably doesn't mean anything. It's just a story. That's all. You're the one who asked. Interesting that we didn't get the Isabel achievement either. Ractor, what's up? Ractor's shop is curiously silent. As you step down onto the grated metal floor, the sound of your own footsteps reverberates through the echo chambers of the converted engine room. Ah, welcome back, my friend. Is there something I could do for you? Quiet night in the shop, huh? Yes, a quiet night. One best suited for contemplation, planning, and visions of the future. Can we pick up where we left off last time? If you like. I must confess I rather enjoyed our talks. It's good to have a sounding board to bounce ideas of. Funny, I thought we were friends. We are? Please forgive me if my choice of words has offended you. It was not intentional. I am by nature a solitary creature. I must confess that sometimes I forget how to interact with others. I remember you could bring up the Young Kings to the Kwai Jin woman in Bloodlines, and she's like, no, shut up, we are not talking about this. Oh, that's funny. Kosuche scuttles forward, mechanical petaplaps weaving. Its motions are alien and charged with menace as they've ever been. Ractor glances at the machine and takes a step back. He returns with his attention to you and a smile. But enough of this maudlin talk. You have questions for me. Go ahead and ask them, please. I will answer whatever I can. You said you sometimes forget how to interact with other people? An idiosyncrasy. Fuck, how do you... An idiosyncrasy of mine, I suppose. Whenever I get lost in my own head, relating to others becomes difficult. It's nothing personal, just a quirk I occasionally struggle to hide. You're doing a pretty good job of it, and you've always been friendly with me. Ah, but when you came down here, we talked about things that were relevant to my interests. That makes things easier. In any case, thank you. Your kindness is appreciated. The last time we talked, you hinted at Kosuche being special in some way. I wanted to hear the full story. Yeah, I figured you might. Tell me, have you noticed anything unusual about Kosuche in the time we have worked together? It feels like he acts without you ordering him around. It's like he's semi-autonomous, maybe. Yes, a good observation. Kosuche could be described as semi-autonomous, though for a different reason than you might think. And? Do you want to tell me what that reason is? The drone lowers itself, its killing legs splayed. Ractor looks at the drone head cocked. Then he returns his gaze to you. His behavior is not drone-like because he is not a drone. At least, not in a way you would understand. He is a prosthesis. What is he meant to replace? He isn't meant to replace anything, but he does contain a portion of me, as surely as your brain sits within your skull. We are, in a way, a singular entity in two bodies, metal and flesh made one. Wait, so... Like, I should advance the dialogue, but I'm just like... My first thought is like, you just gored out your brain? Hello? You're gonna have to explain that one, buddy. Kosuche acts as a home for my primal and animal impulses. The id, to use Freud's structural model of the psyche. The analytical portions of my mind, the ego and superego, live on within me. They govern the id and, by extension, Kosuche's behavior. When we are on a run, and I rig into Kosuche, I do not command him to attack. Rather, I loosen my grip on his reins and allow him to kill. He wants to hunt, to dominate, to bathe himself in blood. Reproduction would also be a drive, if such things were possible. How could a drone have those sort of instincts? He doesn't. They are mine. Stemmed into him on a continual basis. They lend him a semblance of life, albeit one entirely by my reptile brain. If the stream were interrupted by my death or a malfunctioning data jack, Kosuche would fall as lifeless as any other machine. But barring such an interruption, he will remain a part of me. One day, perhaps I will perfect him, and part of me will live on in his chassis as after the meat of my body dies. But for now, I'm satisfied to live with him as a combined entity, man and machine, joined through a form of neuroparabiosis into a single being. A beautiful first step into a post-human future. I guess if I have to know a mad scientist, I'm glad he's on my side. Well said, my friend, and the feeling is mutual. If I must associate with violent criminals, I suppose that I am happy to call them friends. Okay, so you've rigged your drone to act as a home for your most destructive impulses, but I gotta ask, why? As proof of concept, primarily. There are other advantages, of course. I shouldn't have time to explain the value of a combat drone that wants to kill. Huh. Well, tell me what you think we're gonna do. Tell me why you think we're gonna beat the essence limit. You hinted at it before, but I kind of want to know. I could do that. I've already shared quite a lot with you, and I haven't run off screaming. A good sign, I think. But tell me, Combo, are you certain you want to know? Some secrets are less pleasant than others. You may want to leave this stone unturned. I want to know whatever you have to tell me, Raptor. I don't run from things because they're unpleasant. Very good. There are things you don't know about me, my friend. Important things. And that is? For one, I am not how you put it, whole. What do you mean by that? There was an accident when I was young, a shop accident, and I barely survived. I am very heavily cybered, my friend. You wouldn't know it because I keep my enhancements hidden. Others have found them disturbing in the past. How so? The enhancements themselves are not the problem. The extent of the damages that they were meant to correct, however, that is a different matter. Everything below the mid-pelvis is replacement material. That's where I was shredded in half, you see. It is a miracle I survived the experience, but the blood loss alone should have killed me. But here I am, alive and well. Greatly improved, in point of fact. Hang on, you lost everything below the hips? Yes, a traumatic loss to be sure, but not so terrible as you might think. By every conceivable measure, I have been improved since the time of the accident. I am more whole than I was before, not less. Guy lost his ass. Oh no. He literally got his ass blasted. I'm not sure I can imagine anything worse. Then you have a poor imagination. Look at me, my friend. I have legs! Better than the pair I was born with. And my reconstruction has yielded other benefits that more than make up for any tissue I might have lost. It says it right here. Diagnosis: fractured ass. Oh god, what's that from? Why do I know that line? Doctors installed stimulus generators into my brain when they repaired me. With these, I can mimic the full range of sensations that the human body is capable of producing. Imagine the ramifications of such a thing. The things that you could do, the things that you could experience. The implications for operant conditions alone are staggering. Harvey Birdman. Oh god, what episode was that then? And so, yes, I have lost the entire lower half of my body. The full ramifications of such a loss are obvious. But in return, I have gained so much more. At will, I can goad my brain into producing whatever sensation I wish. I can poke at the wiring of my own consciousness and reroute the wiring as I see fit. Okay, so you're half machine. What does that have to do with the essence limit? Clip in the Steam discussions. This is not Steam discussions, that's another Discord.
Ass.
Oh!
It says right here, diagnosis, fractured ass.
That's right, it's the fucking, Evil Knievel episode. Look at me, Combo. I have a shred of essence left in me, and only barely that. But I suffer none of the ill effects associated with traumatic essence loss. Wait, how could that be? A quirk of psychology, long viewed as an illness but never properly understood. What I now understand to be an evolutionary adaptation to a post-human future. We will conquer the essence limit given time. Natural selection will see to it, and I am the proof. These stimulus generators that you've been implanted with, how do they work? And technology is rather akin to SimSense, but considerably more powerful and flexible. Most Simpson experiences, those found in BTL chips for example, are structured around basic narratives that provide their users with context. But what if you strip away the veneer of escapist fantasy? What you are left with is a extremely powerful toolkit. I've never heard of anything like this on the market. Not even in Shadows. I'm not surprised. They're Russian technology, government-funded and quite experimental. The project was cancelled shortly after I received my implants. Something about the graft and corruption on the administrative level. Yet another example of good science derailed by bad politics. Have you heard of anyone else who's gotten those implants? I know of a handful of other recipients. From what I heard, the others were all driven quite mad. To be handed control over the inner workings of one's own brain is a tremendous responsibility. Perhaps the others were less well equipped to handle it than I was. Be careful with that thing, Ractor. The last thing I need is you wigging out on me. I have carried these implants for over 20 years, my friend. I know how to handle myself. You have nothing to fear. So, what else have you been keeping from me? I know there's more to this story than this. There is, my friend, but nothing that can't wait till tomorrow. You have a lot to process, I'm sure, and I would like the remainder of the evening to myself. But if you come back later, I could finish the tale. I want to know. Tell me. Also, man, you could... I wonder if it's because of the hype. No, wait. No, it's not the hype. Fucking Combo's Titanic. But yeah, I completely did not know that, Ractor's a paraplegic. Again, the shop is quiet. No hammering of metal, no whine of machinery. Nothing but the sound of your own footsteps and the low electrical hum of Ractor's terminal. The monitor above the work desk is alive with vibrant imagery. Graphs, technical readouts, and reference images fill the screen. He looks up at you, face bathed in blue light. Ah, hello again, my friend. Back for more answers? I can take the time to talk if you can. It's never said outright, but it's implied that if it were not for the industrial accident and tinkering and poking, Ractor would have exhibited all the traits of a high-functioning sociopath. I know Torpid was mentioning something about this when we were talking about Shadowrun Hong Kong before, about how this game has the best functioning presentation of a sociopath. The last time we spoke, you told me that essence loss didn't hurt you. I want to know why. Yes, I did tell you that, and I do owe you an explanation. Tell me, my friend. What do you know about experience, essence loss, and its effect on metahuman psyche? Essence loss removes your ability to feel anything. It can drive you psychotic if you go too far. Yes, that's right. And this detachment could be deeply traumatic for the sufferer. The literature is full of all such cases. Now, what would I say if I told you that after my accident and subsequent cyber surgery, I felt no different at all? That even in the beginning, I was completely unchanged. I'd ask if you knew why. I do like this line. He levels his gaze and focuses in on your face. There is a smile, but his eyes are devoid of warmth. I do, in fact. Would you like to know? Yes, please. I was born with what society had deemed a psychological defect. Out of fear of social repercussions, I spent most of my life in hiding it. I still hide it, even now. The lessons of my childhood were not wasted on me, and I know the value of reputation. But since the accident, I have come to recognize this quirk for what it really is. A selective advantage. What is this defect that you're talking about? Does it have a name? Absolutely. I was diagnosed as a primary psychopath at the age of 8. Ghostchase cuddles forward, brushing up against Ractor's leg. Metal and leather separated by a thin layer of cloth. The drone's many eyes focus on you, irises widening open and bathing you in a dull red glare. Well, diagnosed is probably not the correct word. There's no formal diagnosis of psychopath in the DSM. But all the markers were there. I displayed a complete lack of empathy on the Davis Interpretation Reactivity Index, and I scored a perfect 40 on the PCLR. A blood test showed that I had inherited a damaged gene that had been linked with aggressive behavior, and the activity level in my ventromedial prefrontal cortex is vanishingly low. Ventromedial prefrontal cortex? What part of that does break? What part of the... What does that govern in the brain? Like autism, psychopathy is a spectrum, not a disorder. But I am definitely on that spectrum. Yeah, the writing is really on point. Like, it takes a lot for a character to proclaim themselves as like clinically psychopathic and not make it feel, for lack of a better word, cringe. Regulates emotional expression. So what he's saying is that he has no regulation of his emotional expression. At least that's what I'm hearing. That, or he has no capacity to express, which would make more sense of Kostje. Kostje, of Ractor. You say that psychopathy is a spectrum, but where are... He's like Saito from AI. God. You say that psychopathy is a spectrum, but where are you on that? Before I turned to the shadows, I considered myself a pro-social psychopath. That is to say, I had the makers for psychopathy, and I expressed some of the expected behaviors, but I never killed anyone. At least not until it became a job requirement. Now I'm not so sure. I will admit there is a certain thrill in our profession. It is quite liberating, being paid to hunt and kill other men. But I only indulge these appetites when I am on the job, and I never bring my work home with me. Let's say he has no regulation and more... He has no expression. Okay, that's what we're looking at here. I'm sure that this all comes as a great shock to you, but I tell you my condition is actually an advantage. One that has protected me from the mental trauma of my accident and subsequent reconstitution. Also, I should really stop fidgeting with my tools here. The psychological blow of essence loss can be devastating. This mental trauma is ultimately responsible for much of the damage and self-destructive behavior suffered by those who ride the razor's edge. Of course, there's a physical limit to how far the metahuman body can be pushed, but a normal person will reach his mental breaking point in far in advance of this. The loss of self, the loss of capacity is too painful to bear. But you didn't hit that breaking point. No, I did not. Indeed, I am quite certain that my breaking point does not exist. What does it matter to me if my capacity for empathy and consciousness is stripped away? I never possessed either in the first place. I know you should exhaust every dialogue in a Western RPG, but, is there any consequence to asking this? Because it does feel kind of like a targeted jab, you know? Like, you see what I mean when I say that? It just kind of feels a little awkward to say. All this time you've been calling me my friend. Does that word even mean anything to you? Of course it does. The word has always carried a cerebral meaning. I can understand the concept of friendship and what it means to others. I know how important that feeling is, even if I can't experience it myself. People with my condition, my advantage, are not incapable of bonding with others. The only difference is that we do so on a cerebral rather than an emotional one. I enjoy our association, and I recognize the advantage in our being allies. I like talking to you. What better reason is there for us to be friends? What a cool dude. Okay, so your mental condition protected you from the trauma of essence loss, but do you have any proof of that? I have myself and my own experiences. Nearly all of my essence was stripped away in a single stroke, and I didn't even notice. What more do you need? None, I guess. If that's your experience, I'll take your word for it. And you would be wise to. I speak the truth. My hypothesis makes good sense to me, my friend. I have never possessed the sense of humanity that others hold so dear. If having it stripped away is traumatic, then it stands to reason that I would be protected from that trauma. Oh, this is such a good example, though. Like, having looked at research papers that focus on sample size and stuff, this is actually a good point. Ractor may have his own experiences as proof to show that he is capable of mitigating essence loss trauma, but he is also the only example as far as we know. And it's also a very hard thing to replicate, so a study of that would be brutal. I'm sure there are plenty of other chromed out psychos probably a bad word thing. Is it possible that other factors might have come into play? Yes, of course, but this explanation seems to be the most likely, doesn't it? I am certain in time I will be proven right. More certain of it than I've ever been of anything. Call it a matter of faith, I suppose. I do dislike the term, but it does apply. That's the way you want to play this, then fine, but don't expect me to buy into your belief system if it isn't based on facts. Oof. A fair point and criticism. In time, I will endeavor to show you the proof of my beliefs. Until then, think of me as you would any other member of the team. Gobbet Azrat, I have this. It is mine, and you cannot take it from me. This is a lot to process, Ractor. Yes, I'm certain it is. For what it's worth, I think you're handling the information rather well. In the past, there were others who were more rigid in their thinking. When I revealed myself to them, they reacted badly. I'm quite pleased that you haven't done the same. I don't consider you... Oh, I want to say that, but it sounds so corny, dude. I don't judge my allies based on what they are. It's what they do that counts. A woman after my own heart. I wish that others were so open-minded. I am not a broken thing that needs to be fixed. I am exactly what I was meant to be. You don't know how rare it is to find others who would accept me as such. And now, if you don't mind, I would like you to leave. There is work to be done. Of course, do your thing. We'll catch up after another run. Ractor's shop is alive with motion. 5 seconds later. While Mountitudes hammer and spark, each according to their own rhythm. The cacophony reverberates in the mental confines of the converted engine room, attacking your ears as the light of acetylene torches stab your eyes. My friend, you have come back! Ractor turns to you. His boots are off, and you can see the metallic gleam of his feet. Interesting. Freed from the confines of his boots, the appendages have unfolded. Clawed, gripping toes splay out in all directions, at least 8 to a foot. They look alien and predatory, like the talons of some great carnivorous bird. I wasn't convinced that you want to continue our little chats after the last time. I'm glad I was wrong. Are you kidding? I wouldn't miss out on our talks for the world. I'm pleased to hear you say so. I rather enjoy them myself. So, what shall we talk about? I see the shop's up and running again. What are you working on now? More options for Kosche, as always. He is still far from perfect, but even every iteration inches him closer. I have questions for you about something that you mentioned last time. I'm curious about... So, in your ideal future, people without empathy, morality, and humanity will replace the rest of us? That sound about right? Yes, people like me. Tell me, my friend, how does that make you feel? What is your gut reaction to the visions I have shared with you? It's so wild how many options you have to just shut him down. Fractus says woke mind virus punched the shit out of him. I don't think he would be like that. Because Raptor doesn't strike me as the kind of person that finds like emotion and understanding to be like a liability, like so many people do so today. He just sees it as another way of being a person. What was your gut reaction? Oh, God. I'm so torn on how to react to him. It's a dog-eat-dog world. I've known that since I was a kid. Good. Very good. I'm pleasantly surprised. The sixth world has no place for compassion. It's a predatory world, one of monsters. Some of those came with the awakening, and those are of our own design, but they are there. If our species is to thrive, we need to shed weakness that prevents us from asserting our dominance. I side with the clarity of a man who is not a man in mind or body. Things that others refuse to see are as plain to me as the light of day. I tell you, my friend, life is better this way. One day you will see for yourself, and you will thank me for what I have shared with you. Maybe I was wrong about that assessment. But this is a man who is, by you know, the capriciousness of life in its own design, has resulted in this way, so I can see why his mindset would be like this. If what you believe is true, that people with your condition will inherit the Earth, how long do you think that can last? Indefinitely. What makes you ask? Intellectual curiosity. You can understand that, right? Of course, of course. Let us assume, for the sake of argument, that a group of people with my condition would prove incompatible in some way. I will concede that we would feel no compunctions about going to war with one another. That said, I do not think that is the most likely outcome. This is the sixth world, after all. Even if metahumanity is supplanted by post-humanity, there will be other forces at work in the world. We would not be alone. Libertarians always think that contracts will prevent bad actors. Haha, fuck no. That is the funny thing about a contract, is that everybody wants to find some way out of it. Mainly because of what it symbolizes. Probably share the world with machine intelligences. We're on the cusp already. Apex is out to get me. Some would even say we have already seen true AI. I had a teammate back in Berlin who insisted as much. Though I have little reason to believe her. Oh my god. I didn't think we'd actually bring that back. That's clever. As you say, we will likely have to contend with AI in the near future. But think of the present, my friend. We are surrounded by non-human intelligences, spirits, paranormal beings, you name it. And in the future I foresee you could add any metahuman holdovers that cling to their natural bodies to the list. And what would they be to you? Competition? Prey? That remains to be seen. But they would give my people something to rally against. I, for one, am looking forward to seeing how all of this will play out. Aren't you? You said you were diagnosed as a psychopath when you were 8. What led to that? My mother had me tested. She always kept a watchful eye on me. Obsessively, so to be told. It was a rather poor way to experience childhood. Why was she watching you? Very little. She blew my childhood behaviors out of proportion, I'm afraid. That woman has always been motivated by fear. She had her reasons, I suppose. What reasons are you talking about? Malignant narcissism runs in my family. None of the men of my mind have understood the concepts in consciousness or empathy, and they wouldn't have much use for them if they had. My grandfather was an abusive drunk who killed his own brother with a gasoline-powered ice auger. My father was a terror to his employees and assistants, a shark in a business suit. I suppose my mother has expected me to follow in their footsteps. I suppose she was right, in a way. My career in the shadows had led me to more bloodshed than my grandfather's mania could have ever hoped to. I was driven to it, though. Driven by theft and betrayal. Left to my own devices, I might never have taken a human life. Ow! Fuck! Damn! Sorry, I pinched my arm in between my my armrest and my desk. I'll give you that. Besides, it's not like I'm in a place to judge. Well said, well said. Things happen as they did, and I have no regrets. We're both better for it, are we not? Surely it is advantageous to have me on the team. It's good that you're here. Well then, there you have it. So, after you were diagnosed, what happened? I learned what was expected of me. The doctor was very helpful in that regard. He offered false hope and placebos, and false promises that he could cure me if my family met his price. And to me, he offered an escape. That all I had to do was play along and my problems would be solved. There are some groups that automatically apply a law without bias, a system that was set up by an empathy processing society as a way to enforce accepted behavior. No empathy means the law is up to a person with the most ability to inflict violence. I'd have to chew on that sometime. Rely on the law. No empathy means the law is up to person. I think I get what Shrike's trying to say. It wasn't difficult to pretend that I had been cured. Once I understood the outward signs that my mother was looking for, I was able to ape them well enough. In time, my mother came around. I mean, probably would have done the same thing. Of course he would have. Anyone would. Not everyone would succeed, of course, at the risk of sounding immodest. My natural talents for acting and mimicry are quite impressive. And I had an incentive to play my role well. My grandfather lived out his final days in Black Dolphin Prison. Do you know the place? I've heard stories. Ah, I see what you're getting at, Shrike. This guy reminds me of the villain in the Bean series. A psychopath with genius intellect and can fool any testings is terrifying. Yep, and it is the kind of thing that I like that the HBS Shadowrun games do, is that they give you teammates that you that you have to work with and are forced to, you know, understand them. The conditions can put you in there, and it doesn't matter whether or not you like them, but you have to understand them. And honestly, I do like Ractor, even though he's intimidating to be around, given his behavior patterns and philosophy. He is still at heart a good person, and we worked and like he doesn't wish ill things on people. He's not like, for lack of a better term, he's not a fucking psychopath, but like he has a unique way of thinking that he has adapted to normal life, and he's gotten by well. His philosophy is something that I can understand, and even though I don't agree with some of them, it is an interesting discussion to have. Yeah, he's not malicious, he is utilitarian. That is a perfect way to put it. It is a storied place, one of the most appalling detainment facilities in Russia. And that's saying quite a lot. I was determined not to follow in the old man's footsteps. I am not an animal to be caged. Ractor bends down and runs his finger over Koschei's chassis. The drone stands motionless, the lenses of its many optical sensors focused on you. In any case, there you have it. I am glossing over many of the details of Source, but rather not discuss my childhood any further. Instead, let us think to the future and the promises it holds. So, where do we go from here? Forward. Always forward. Silently, Koschei studies you, its articulated pedipalps weaving hypnotically. You will join me, won't you? Future beckons both of us equally. Follow me and I will guide you into a better tomorrow. I can think of nothing that will please me more. We'll agree to disagree about the perfect future, but for the present, though, you have my support. Very good. If nothing else, I will have ample time to convince you. But in the immediate future, there is the small matter of the walled city to contend with. I will, of course, continue to help you as best I can. I need allies as badly as you do, and it is in my best interest to keep them alive. Glad to have you with us, Ractor. It isn't often that a guy gets a chance to work with the man of the future. That's a funny little thing that slipped through. No, I suppose not. And if you'll excuse me, I'll catch you on the next run, Ractor. And I you. Good night, my friend, and good night. Interesting, that's not the end of the Ractor line. I thought I would have gotten the Chivo for that. How bizarre. I guess it's the same reason why I don't have Isabel's yet. And we still have to do the mission with Gaichu. Because, like, we got all the way up to talking with Gaichu, and now we just have to run the mission an hour and a half later. How much money do I have? Fucking nothing. Holy shit. Let's save. Let's get the progress down. That way I don't have to repeat the entire dialogue loop the whole way through, like I've done so many times before. travel to Renraku Warehouse in Tolo to ambush Gaichu's old red samurai unit. Gaichu must be present. And we could take another runner. Oh, we could take a whole ass team. Holy shit. Well, let's take our good buddy.
Alright, now you just had a heart-to-heart with Matthew. Time to bring him with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Why can't I see my inventory? What's happening? The Tolo Harbor Industrial Complex is a sprawling maze of warehouses, auto fabrication facilities, shipping container mazes, and corporate power. If something corporate-owned is shipped through Hong Kong, it invariably moves through these streets. The Renraku shipping facility lies far enough away from the heart of Tolo Harbor that you won't have to worry about corporate security other than on-site guards. And Renraku's extraterritoriality means that any fighting won't risk backup from rent-a-cops. I think that's a good enough inventory loadout. Right, I didn't get the new skill because I'm too broke. As you exit the MTR and step into Tolo Harbor streets, you are blessedly spared from the rain. An ebb in the constant monsoon combined with the sweltering heat has left the concrete and your body blessedly free of moisture. Gaichu casts a glance at you and nods in satisfaction. This is the facility. Past that fence is the warehouse and test laboratories. Ishida and his team should arrive here mere minutes after we breach their defenses. Is there anything I should know about this place? Not that I am aware of, no. Standard defenses will be in place. Renraku is nothing if not predictable. There will be armed guards with orders to shoot trespassers on sight, biometrically locked doors, a secure matrix host with black ice. The facility itself should have guards both inside and in the outer courtyards. I should have brought Isabel, damn it. Well, the Red Samurai provide a good backup team. There are too few of them to mount a standing guard, which means that we'll be facing standard Renraku security. While they are not as potent as better-equipped security, Knight Errant for instance, they are still skilled combatants. Great! I love dealing with corporate security. They're like a steak. You're never surprised by what you get, but you're never disappointed either. This is sounding just fine, Nibbles. Inclining his head respectfully, Gaichu matches Gobbet's grin with a small one of his own. I am glad that it is met with your approval, Gobbet. I would have hated to have you bored. God, that is the rare instance where there's actual inter-team dialogue, and it kind of rules. Medical supplies, I don't think I need them. I don't know if there's an alternate way around. Mainly because I have construction equipment blocking me here. Oh, we could have gotten to a sneak-in situation here, and I fucked it. Ooh, this is a rough start. Admittedly, I should have known to have gone hot the moment they said hostile spotted, but I was hoping I could like sneak around them first and get the supplies. No better cover for Gobbet here, unfortunately. Haste on combo. What does Gaichu have at the moment? He has his stances, active defense, regenerate, which I should probably use, thrown shuriken, And disease. Let's grab Killing Hands and go for it. God, my accuracy is so dog shit. Holy crap. But I can still connect, thankfully. Alright, we also gotta get Raptor to cover, don't we? Okay, we go here. Control mode. And Raptor specifically will use, am I reading that right? Is it 2 action points now? Holy shit, it is. Okay. First off, pop that fucking barrel. Second off, get in there. Get that wizard. Buzzsaw that bitch. Recovered? Oh, if only I had a grenade. Wait, Gubbet has something, doesn't she? Ooh, oh, that's gross. What am I gonna do now is the question. Going to bed. Ah, see you later, Beowulf. Oh, our accuracy is so bad, dude. Also, this might have been not been a good idea, because we still have the funny orb. I don't think I need the funny orb here, though, honestly. Do want to give Gaichu accuracy. Well, wizard down. Oh, right, we got laser mounts. Excellent. Can Raptor help out in that regard? Increases accuracy by 8 to 12%. And manual tuning. God, even with all those buffs, there's still an 80% chance to hit. Well, I guess he's decided to go there, huh? Well, buddy, hey, what's up? Ah, well, this blows. Ooh, buddy, what's our health looking like after that debacle? is health not shown here? 32 out of 70. Yeah, I should really pop a heal. Also, we need some better medkits. Boy, howdy. You need that close combat. The problem is, do we have the points for it? We do not. There be a wizard over here. You alright?
Yeah, I just fucked it. I just fucked up on something.
Ah. Control mode. And let's give him high-speed robot action. And I think Kosti is better suited for hunting down the mage. It's 3 AP, but we could get in on him. He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you. Hey, buddy, what's up? The question is,
should I as your drone shows up? Oh no.
Heaven's Stance, AP damage or reduced HP. Your dodge increase for 1, take 2 less damage. Active it. Active defense, and let's go in. Oh god, does this stance only do AP damage?
Constant throat chop. Ugh. They wake up. Oh, what? Where am I? Throat chop again. Ugh.
Why do I keep getting throat chopped? Uh-oh. Holy crap. Heal that 24 damage. Give me the accuracy. What are you, captain? Well, might as well go for it. Oh, we got a shot in. Gaichi's an interesting situation, but it's just that he has a lot of systems to him, so it's hard to, like, figure out how to use them. Well, we got a guy on lock at least. Meanwhile, I have to punch the shit out of someone. Damn it. Meanwhile, robots. wizard down. Oh man. Raptor actually has to shoot something, huh? Even though it's a really bad shot. There's the damage. Do I have accuracy? I do have aim. Wow, that chav did like no damage. What the fuck? Here comes a robot buddy to save the day. Yeah, single shot too, damn. What's my health looking at like now? 52 out of 70. Yeah, I should probably use a medkit. If only because combos on the front line all the time. Quarantine terminal. What is this thing? That is the control panel for the quarantine room beyond it. Standard design across most Renraku facilities. Parazoologists use it to study the responses of paranormal animals to extreme stimuli. Interesting. What kind of stimulus do they expose the creatures to? What is the purpose of these tests? The animals are exposed to high voltage current, open flame, toxic gases, and the rest. The primary purpose of these experiments is to identify the best specimens and reserve them for breeding. Those that are sufficient to stock survive, and those do not. Such survivors make excellent guard animals once cybernetically controlled. I gotta say, it's actually really cool that we're seeing, you know, inter-character dialogue in a social quest. It's such a cool small detail to see. But also, we have a drone vent. Not quite what oh, I see. It's locked for everybody else. Wait, hang on. There are dudes here. And I think they could see us.
Man, spotted.
Oh yeah, fucking take that, boy howdy. Take this too, just because having another one won't hurt. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anywhere else we can interface with the team we have at the moment. As you barge into the office, the lone scientist within leaps back to cover against the desk what he was working at. Don't hurt me, please! A split seconds later, the scientist stands upright. An expression of profound shock spreads across his face and takes an involuntary half-step towards Gaishu. Wait. It's you, Saru? The man's amazement is apparent in his voice, which barely rises above a whisper. Renraku said you were dead, but I knew they were lying. But I didn't expect you'd be the one to answer my request. That's a good omen, friend. Indeed, you were lied to. The shame the Red Samurai suffered due to their inability to kill me is undoubtedly something they'd wish to hide. I'm glad to see you are well, but I am no longer Saru. That code name is long gone. I am now Gaichu. You know this man? Yes, his name is Tanjiro Sasaki, a senior researcher. He has served Renraku for more than a decade. Do you recall how I said I had guarded similar facilities? They were usually in service of protecting Tanjiro's projects. It's true, and believe me, I could help you with what you're here for. Not quite. We're here for a few reasons. You fixers got the job because I arranged this. Why do you think it was so easy to get here? You're not just here for the drone, but to fake someone's death. Mine? If a group of heavily armed Shadowrunners break in here, it's completely believable that I would be killed in the process. As of right now, I suppressed the alarms. I couldn't do that, and once I reach a safe distance, I will. The samurai will arrive just a moment too late to save the research and me. So we've already helped you. What could you do for us? The Red Samurai team will rush to this building as soon as the alarms are released. I'll give you the code I wrote into my Overwatch program. Use it on one of the security mainframes when you're ready. You'll have time to set up any ambush you like. Typically, we would send the main force in through the front, leaving one team member aside to flank its opposition. It would be advantageous for us to isolate one of them and pick them off before the main forces engage us. You could use the quarantine room. It can be programmed to destroy contaminants or apply lethal amounts of electricity. Regardless, you should certainly kill anyone attempting to pass through it. Yes, that could work. If we were to make the quarantine room look like the point of ingress, we should at least take one of the team while the main squad utilizes standard routes, namely through the front door. Combo. We should let Tanjiro go. He has given us more than enough to accomplish the task at hand, and he is a friend of sorts. I would feel sorry if any harm came of him. Yeah, get the hell out of here, dude. Thank you. You have no idea what it's like living under Renraku's thumb. You're giving me the chance to start again. Hopefully with a better life. And it's in you. It's because of you that I found the strength to leave Renraku. That they couldn't find or kill you was a sign that I could escape as well. I admired your tenacity and drive. Thank you, Tanjiro. That means more to me than I think you know. Go, they'll be coming for us soon enough. I want you to be well out of here when they arrive. Nodding, Tanjiro bolts through the door. We got here. If we bait the quarantine room, one of the team members will move through to flank us. Since Tanjiro's programs gives us access to their comm channels, we can choose who to draw in. The other three will enter through the front door. I could bait the quarantine room to draw in one of the samurai. They will split up, but they won't deviate from standard protocol very much. The remaining three will remain together. We have three choices. We could bring in Sasaki and eliminate their magical support. We could bring in Takagawa to cut off the long-range support fire. Or we could draw in whoever the heavy gunner replacement is. But we can only get one. Huh. This is a tough one. Because I'm torn between sniper and mage. But as they always say, like, the thing about Shadowrun is that you should really geek the mage. Plus, Kosuke and I can absolutely, like, zero in on the sniper, no problem, and deck him. Unsuppress the alarm to draw in the Red Samurai. Part of why I want to force myself to use him at the next time I replay. I think the main problem is that, at least I find, is that both times I played Shadowrun it has been through Physical Adept. Which means both times I have been in no short supply of a melee person. It definitely seems like if you want to try to force yourself to use Gaichu in Hong Kong, you want to not be a melee person. Which means you'll either be a decker, a gunner, or a mage. Terminal glows blankly, awaiting your command. Alright, your friends are inbound. Now they will learn what it's like to face me in true combat. No more running or hiding. Tonight we end this for good. So we have 2 turns to prepare the ambush, I'm assuming. Interesting. We have ley lines here, but they're labeled differently from Dragonfall. This is called a Dragon Line. End turn. I probably could have set up some buffs beforehand, couldn't I? Well, I can do them all now, honestly. I guess now would be the time to set up, all the buffs. How long do the Raptor buffs last? 1 round, 1 round. Okay, so they are reactive buffs, not prepared buffs. Mage, dead! Oh, they came in from the side door. Okay. Which one was the sniper? Is the question. No AP damage. Okay. Oh, she had to move out of cover to do that. Oh boy. Either way, it's probably better to have moved out of that cover just because, it's looking like we might get hit with a flank. We'll give Gaichu some robot support. AP2. Robot? Shoot the shit out of this guy. And miss your laser shot. Fuck. And your aim shot. Wow, okay. This is dire. There we go. I guess in the meantime, I'm gonna fly the fuck off the handle. What's up? Now time to see how bad an idea this is. Oh, that's a heavy gunner. Fuck. He got me with a pistol for 20. What the fuck? Alright, man down. Also, geez, there's like no opportunity for dialogue here. You are just in. Sniper down. I missed a 90% chance to hit. I like how the dead person is saying, "It's him!" Let's get overheat. Can I see Kosuche from here? Ah, line of sight blocked. Damn. That always sucks. I guess we just end around? Ooh, ow, oof, all of my bones. I am not envying the people that dealt with the minigun in Dragonfall. Boy howdy. God, just see my damage output plummet without killing hands is brutal. That this guy is heavily fucking armored. What? Oh, damn it. This might be dire depending, just because he could just pop me with that minigun and ruin my entire life. Oh, he wanted the robot. Okay. Line of sight blocked. What the fuck? More haste, please. We kinda fucking need it here. So do I still have accuracy? No, I do not. Killing Hands is still off cooldown, tragically. There we go. Confront the captain. Ishida lies on the cold tile, gasping for breath. His armor is rent and tattered, but the eyes still burn with rage. He spits at Gaichu as you approach. Honorless cur! I regret the day I ever began teaching you. You are truly depraved to kill your own brothers rather than submit to what is right. Gaichu. Yes, that is my name, as everything of my old life has been taken from me. What is honor if built on a lie? What is duty if dogma behind it is corrupt? What do you know about it, vermin? Every red samurai who's become subhuman has taken their life. Everyone but you. You're a disgrace to you and your people. Big words coming from a fascist. For years, you were taught that to be pure was to be powerful, that metahumans, the infected and the deformed, were to be scorned for their weakness. Yet I stand here, and there you lie, broken. You think this is victory over Sasaki, Takagawa, and me makes you superior? Ta! You'll spend the rest of your useless days cowering in the darkness, eating the flesh of your betters. You're no better than an animal, skilled though you may be. Snarling and fierily, Gaichu hurls his katana to the floor. He reaches out to grab Ishida by his collar, yanking up so his faces are only an inch apart. You said that the Red Samurai were the best, the strongest, the most capable. Those who were non-human were unworthy of consideration. You told me I would be better for having joined you. But it was a lie. I was infected and became better than I was. Your own blindness allowed me to escape. Blind to my skill and blind to the power of the impure. Gaichu lifts one hand, claws glittering in the pale warehouse light. His fingers splay out like an array of knives. I was not superior because I was Red Samurai. I was Red Samurai because I was superior. I chose my own fate. I make my own destiny. I will show you the strength of my disease, Ishida. I will make you like me and you will be cast out just as I was. I survived and remained intelligent because I have the will to do so. Can you say as much? This is an interesting dilemma. What the fuck do we choose here? This is actually a pretty great choice. It is my call, but the only issue I'm having is I don't know what's gonna happen if I say I don't know about this, because my thought is I don't know if it's a good idea to make your enemy as durable and immortal as you. But I don't think that's what the developers thought of when writing this. I'm pretty sure you could talk him down. As much as a Red Samurai are horrible fucking shits, do you really want to suggest infecting someone with vampire AIDS? Yeah, true. I don't know about this one. You think I'll let you infect me, monster? I'll do what you are too weak to. I'll take my own life like the 47 Ronin of old. Such a foolish boy. Foolish? You underestimate me, old man. After I cripple your arms, you have no means of killing yourself. The disease will burn through you like a fire, consuming every inch of your humanity. Then we shall see, Gaichu. And if you are wrong, I shall meet you again in the next life and try to teach you to do better. This doesn't feel right. What do you know of it, Combo? Do you know what it's like to be hunted at every turn? Threatened like an animal and despised by all who see you? I could have stayed with the unit. I could have been the best of them. And if you do this to him, you'll be no better than he is. I'm nothing like... Gaichu stops as Ishida begins laughing. Slowly the ghoul lowers his claws and takes a deep, heavy breath. This is beyond revenge, isn't it? Kill him cleanly. Show that you're still a man. Am I, though? Am I really a man? I have gained my newfound strength by embracing my nature. Why should tonight be any different? Why not show him exactly who and what I am? Because down that path lies the life of a feral ghoul, not a Ronin. Gaichu considers this for a long, quiet moment and nods. He bends up and picks up his sword. These are more incisive words than I expected to hear. Thank you. I am unsure if I deserve counsel as wise as yours, but I'll take it. I regret our friendship had to end like this, Ishida. You have taught me well and you run a fine unit. Perhaps in the next life we could be comrades once more. Until then, farewell. With that, Gaichu's sword flashes out an arc of shining moonlight. As it passes Ishida's throat, a red fountain splashes into the still night air. Ishida grits his teeth, slumping slowly to the floor. In the following seconds, the light dims from his eyes and he expires without a sound. Gaichu regards his corpse for several heartbeats, then his sword flashes back into its saya. We are done here. I am free, Combo. Let's go home. Weird that it says I could still talk to him, but he's dead. Man, that was kinda quick, honestly. I'm surprised at how quickly that went. The sun's rays paint Hong Kong's mountains in a palette of orange and gold as they speed out outside the train. With a final flash, the sun drips below the horizon, foretelling the inevitable descent into night. Talk to his spirit. Oh yeah, well, if I were a wizard. Gaichu is silent as he walks back into the MTR. He stares out the window, seeing nothing but the shadows of astral space, lost in thought. With Ishida's death, the ties between Gaichu and the Red Samurai have finally, decisively, been severed. I will say a partial decapitation takes a lot longer than several seconds to kill. You basically watch Ishida refuse to make a sound for over a minute. Damn. Oh yeah? We really should desperately get CC-14. Or CC-7. Boy howdy, has this been rough. And now, once more, the social links. Mainly we gotta talk to Gaichu about this, because, boy howdy, that was a lot to take in. I am a little sad, though, that they didn't have the practical approach of, do you want to make your villain as like, durable and as immortal as you? That'd be fucking terrifying. The dim cabin air is thick with the pungency of incense. A small, rudely constructed altar sits near Gaichu's box of memories. It consists of a wooden box, a few trinkets, and a bowl for burning incense. Gaichu himself is polishing his sword again. He runs a claw along the length of the blade, feeling and listening for nicks and dents. Good evening, Combo. A fine evening, isn't it? What can I do for you? I kind of assumed you wanted to talk about what happened with you and your team. Of course. I do have thoughts about it, but why would I burden you? Or anyone else with them? If you would like to talk about it, then we may, by all means. I am a private person by nature, however. This is why I do not seek you out to speak on it. Of course I want to talk about it. Are you alright? A curious question. Am I alright? I, the one who survived, who has now shed his whole life entirely, who no longer needs worry about assassins on his heels. Yes, I am more than alright. I am free. Allow me to thank you again for interceding on Ishida's behalf. I had blinded myself to the possibility of ending his life without attempting to avenge my suffering onto him. I could not let him live, but I could forgive him for his blindness and arrogance. The ability to forgive is one of the true hallmarks of humanity, and without that, I fear I would have embraced my inhumane nature a little too much. You have guided me away from that darkness, and that is a debt I cannot easily repay. You're welcome. I stand by my friends. And I stand by mine as well. I do not mean it in any stereotypical Bushido says my sword is yours fashion either. In the shadows, your allies are your life, and you have proven to be the strongest ally I could ever ask for. It is only right I return the favor. Has killing your old unit changed your outlook on life? I think it has. I had thought that embracing my nature as a ghoul would be enough to allow me to survive, become the thing you have become cursed with, so to speak. But I do not think that is true anymore. Instinct has to be tempered with forethought and logic, or the hunger and rage could overwhelm me. I must be careful not to let emotions rule over my self-control. But this shows the synergy of how a strong soul can survive the disease, if they take care and are mindful. Perhaps I could show others that we are not all mindless beasts. Regardless, Ishida's sword is now mine. It's a newer blade than my own, and appears to be made with some manner of enhanced die-coat process along the tungsten carbide edge. He lifts the katana, running one claw down the back of the blade. I have noticed a marked improvement in my speed when using it, particularly with follow-up moves. Should an enemy fall to the sword, I'll be able to reposition much more rapidly. Oh, does he have AP on kill? That'd be awesome. Do you regret having to kill your unit? No, I do not believe I do. We were locked in a dance that could only end with my death or theirs. We chose that path consciously or not, and I am unwilling to die so that they may live. I value my life, I've even changed as it is. Their insistence on following the structures of their duty ensured that this end just as surely as that my refusal to die did. I regret only that circumstances and training led us to this point. They were still family to me, even at the end. But if your family turned on you and tried to kill you, you would still defend yourself. What will you do now? Surely you're joking with me. I am going to stay here and aid you in your endeavors. I have no other life to turn to, nor anyone else to call friend. As you have aided me, so too shall I aid you. The life in the shadow is the most free and open I have ever felt. I have no desire to go or do anything else. Perhaps later I will, but not anytime soon. Have a good night, Gaichu. And the same to you, my friend. Complete Gaichu's storyline 7 times a Ronin. Does Ractor have anything to say? No, interesting. I wonder what the flag is for Gaichu's storyline. Does Isabel have anything to say? Not really. So even though it seems like we're done with Isabel and Ractor's dialogue, we don't have their achievements, which is very bizarre. What about Duncan? Does he have anything to say? Not really. So, I think after 3 streams of this, we could actually advance the plot. Wait, claim payment for mission runs? What? When you think about these character missions are kind of like loyalty missions, but on the flip side, they sure as hell don't have any day issues as BioWare's versions. It is very clean because they don't have to worry about, like... They don't have to worry about, you know, Renegade or Paragon stats to, you know, meet the deadlines. It's all about how you, handle it and address it. Send a quick email to kindly Chen informing you of a journey received from Renraku. Brave of you to take side work without telling me. Or stupid, take your pick. Luckily, Auntie Cheng knows plenty of buyers for your new toy. I'll send a finder's fee right away. Have you talked to Heyo's NPCs yet? I believe I've talked to the most important one, which is, Shu? But I've also talked to various other NPCs as well. Because I think we're done with, Shu. And I gotta say, that's a lot of dialogue. Found limited edition cotton candy punch doing grocery sale. That sounds sickly sweet, Blaze. And yeah, shoe is also done. Not actually sickly sweet. Interesting. Might as well poke them to see what falls out. The problem with that is, that's a lot of dialogue to run through, and, which would really pad out the situation. If I were to, you know, make this as a Let's Play, I'd probably do it as, like, a supplementary episode, but, like, I don't feel like going through 10 separate NPC dialogues, because that is a lot. There's one minor NPC that sells drones I found interesting when we find out about its personality. I mean, that's cool, but, like, at the moment, I'm not too invested in that by merit of that is a lot of what's it called? A lot of dialogue to run through when we were already kind of, you know, super stalled out in the plot. Want this, and I don't think we could afford anything else. Well, we'll have 1,200 after that. Oh. Yeah, this is just better shit. So we could get rid of this and this, put in the bonded skill, get rid of this and add this, and I could probably just sell these, can't I? Sell items, quick strike, stride, nerve strike, killing hands. That should get me one more thing, shouldn't it? We could also sell the spiked fist since it is a decidedly inferior weapon. And what can we get out of this since we're Chi 7? Counter strike. Can't do martial defense. Celestial Mana Fist. We definitely want martial defense 1. But I guess also Celestial Man... No, wait. No, wait, we can't get martial defense 2. That's right. We are completely incapable of reaching Chi 10. But we definitely want Celestial Mana Fist. Because that is just explicitly better. Can we rearrange this to be, actives versus passives? This is also nice just because it is a marked compression of actions. Blood Calls to Blood requires CC 8. Cestus requires CC 8. So we're not getting a new weapon for a while. What's the difference between Blood Calls to Blood and Cestus? Oh, one is, strength up, the other is, healing. Interesting. But unfortunately, we need 16 skill points in order to, what's it called? In order to wield one of these. And yeah, I think now we can kick off the main plot. God, it's so hard to balance martial adept just because you need to split yourself between 2 stat lines. and also have a etiquette or two, and also probably splash into totems if you want like a decided advantage. Also, y'all were talking about cybernetics that I could buy for the eyeball for more accuracy. We should look into that. I don't know if I can afford it with my paltry 900 yen, but we'll see. Services, cyberware. It was an eyeball. Oh, we are not affording this. Boy, howdy. Use close combat skill for accuracy and unarmed for critical chance. Damage strength +2, may do AP damage on critical hit. Cooldown 2. Stink hand. Ares hand razors. Use the ranged combat skill for accuracy when triggered against... this would drop me to 5 if I use this, though, if this is the one you're talking about, because it is a solid 1 cost. There should be one that's 05. Bright Light System 05 uses range combat skill for accuracy. That's a skill, that's not the passive accuracy you were looking for. I don't know, I don't see a 0.5 one that gives me passive accuracy. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is the one. Passive +6 to hit. That's the one you're talking about? If so, I only need, 50 yen for that? So I should probably sell, other stuff. I think if we just sell Mana Fist, we should be able to afford it. We kind of need that +6 to hit, honestly. It's fucking brutal. That puts us at a flat 6, but hey, that's pretty much all we need. With my... God, I forgot about my chrome thyroid. This is a pretty wild variation on the character. And by wild, I mean, you know... not optimal, but definitely interesting, of an orc physical adept who is split between magic and physical, and is also indulging in cyberware and shamanism. Not perfect by any means, but getting by. Go meet Dreamland and see what she knows. God, what was even the context of us doing this again? The tenement that Dreamland lives in smells of oh, right, we're gonna try and mug the plastic-faced man. People living here are the kind that don't want to be found. Okay, this is the right place combo. Emil should be in the first apartment. Is she dangerous? She shouldn't be. Emil's a decker, yes, but she's really more into programming than she is violence. Her handle is Dreamland, after all. She quit running last year. Something about some sort of activist activity that she used to be into, and a bunch of big money execs who were holding a grudge. Emil's from Berlin, but she moved to Hong Kong after the F-state collapsed. The Schockfeldreiter, the group that she worked for, were supposed to protect her, but they got their own problems to deal with now. I guess she decided that she's safer on her own. So the F-state is always destined to collapse unless you put Apex at the top, I believe. Because, like, it sounds like either, that dragon we ran into, or somebody else is going to come in and kick the shit over. Which is quite unfortunate. Heard about the fall of the F-state. Sound like chaos. That's what I heard too. An experiment in sustained institutional anarchy. Great environment for a Shadowrunner, but it ended up just like communism did. Just another pipe dream. The German government gave the corporations the go-ahead to invade, and they forced the anarchists to retreat to the eastern part of the city. Now Berlin's run by the corpse, just like Hong Kong. I bet they'll wind up building a wall again. Wouldn't put it past them. I heard the Epstein collapse. Hello? Anything we should know before we talk to Dreamland? No clue, really. Just, I never met her in Meat Space. Just be your charming self, I guess. I'm sure everything will work out just fine. Imagine hearing all this just outside your apartment. Knock, knock. The apartment is no better than the hallway. Empty fast food cups and packages of dried snack food are strewn across the room. In the corner, a box of cat litter sits filled to overflowing. You don't see any cats. There's a patched-together matrix terminal sitting on a stack of crates connected to a banged-up cyber deck. Within arm's reach of the cyber deck is a 20-something woman with pale white skin, dirty blonde hair, and a bleak expression. Emil looks at the deck slung across Isabel's back. So you're Isabel, huh? I didn't expect. A dwarf? Yeah, I get that a lot. No, I didn't expect you to be so pretty. The woman has a soft German accent and a dour disposition. I should never have agreed to this, Isabel. I never should have even responded to your message. If the oligarch swine who's been hunting me find out where I am... They won't find out from us. Uh-huh. Emil searches your eyes with her own. You can see the intelligence in there, but it's hard to get past her sullen manner. This is the woman I told you about. She needs the software that you developed to inhibit your cortical implant, or your cortical implant. Corcipital, hello? What was that word? She needs what? I don't think I should be getting into this. I need your help, Emil. That's great. Now go away. I have my own problems to deal with. In case you're not up with the current events, I got a kick line of mercs and bounty hunters after me. Messing around with the headwear that the shock veil writer installed into me is the last thing on my mind. Look, this is important. I need the software you created so I can find out what happened to my father. Your father, huh? Sounds rough. Is he dead? I doubt it. At least I don't think he's dead yet. That's why this is so important. Been there. Or something like there. It's the ambiguity that'll kill you. Alright, give me a minute. Emil grabs her cyber deck and jacks into it. Her jaw goes slack and her fingers hover over the keyboard, tapping keys at blinding speed. When she finishes, she jacks out and ejects a data stick from the deck. Here. Modify this taser with it and you use it on your target. This jolt should stop the memory wipe process before it starts. Thank you. Don't mention it. I wish every problem were that easy to solve. Custom-made weapon usable at mid-range deactivates the target's neural wipe and leaves them stunned. The effect takes 3 rounds to sedate the target. How can I access my inventory? Or am I not allowed to? Alright, we're back here. How do I adjust my inventory to what I want? Now, how do I retrieve from stash? I think I have to do that at base, don't I? Also, wow, it's dead quiet in Halo today. Wait, why do I have an MTR thing again? Unless they want me to get the gun. No, no, no. Because I definitely need the gun. There we go. Stash. Phew. Gun, please. Now, the question is if this next mission is going to take long or not. Pretty sure there's fighting involved. Yeah, but fighting could be super quick. Like, Gaichi's fight was like 15 minutes. Go to Checkmate and acquire the plastic-faced man's itinerary. Well, first off, we're gonna save. Or not. Why am I not gonna save?
Gotta do it all in one go.
What's happening?
I have now returned.
What the hell, game? Unless this is considered like an interstitial of some weird variety. So bizarre that they just won't let you save here. I don't know why they wouldn't. Who's gonna be on the team? You must bring the neural inhibitor, which we are. We gotta bring Duncan. Gobbet's there as always. And I guess we'll bring Isabel this time. Let's bring the main crew. Isabel has modified a taser to introduce Dreamland's cortical inhibitor program into the plastic-faced man's neural network. That should stop his headwear from completing a memory wipe and allowing you to interrogate him for information on Raymond Black. But first you need to find him. Currently, Cheng's made contact with an underground information broker named Zhao Shi, who has managed to obtain the plastic-faced man's complete itinerary. With it, you could choose the time and place to perform an extraction and find out what he knows. Zhao Shi works out of an abandoned night market in Set Mei, the Xing House Court. What's this? Why don't we have Isabel's deck?
Isabel at home. Where's my shit?
Oh, I see. We have a better deck for her. That's why. That was really weird. What if we give Gobbet a better gun that is impossible to aim? We'll give Duncan one of our revives. And Gobbet a medkit. Wow, the storm continues. This fucking monsoon, dude. It was really funny that Gaichu's side quest pointed out, hey, the storm has stopped for a second. You're like, what? We got a storm? It's also so bad it's raining inside of a building. Boss is in the back going through. He is so small comparatively. Fuck. Oh, it's wild that we chose this character model that's so gigantic. The dwarf is the queen of her little hive, a nattering swarm of stitches, stoolies, and spies. Snitches, stoolies, and spies. Avarice gleams in her eyes. They dart around you, taking in morsels of information so quickly they appear to vibrate. She mumbles little mnemonic rhymes to herself as she tags and labels you all. Ah, yes, the new on-the-scene runner, Combo. My family in Heois said that you'd be coming to see me. I have a friend too, and she says that you're the one to see about— oh, we shouldn't say any names. We're here for information about the man with the plastic face. Our mutual friend said you had some. Very timely intel. Very timely. I have his complete up-to-the-minute itinerary. Where he'll be, who he'll be with, security coverage, the deluxe package. You must be very good at your job. You are very kind to say so. Yes, very kind. Unfortunately, I do not believe we could transact business today. I have received another offer, a better offer, to take it off the market just before you arrived. From who? Li Tailung's client. I believe you know the company. I feel really bad about this, but this offer was too good to pass up. Way too good. You don't want to work with Josephine Song. That's the thing, Combo. I do. Attaching myself to her is very smart. Very smart. Song's big in Hong Kong and getting bigger. She's already on the executive council and is frontrunner for the next chairperson position. And all I need to do is make sure you don't walk out of here alive. Well, you have made a terrible decision this day. Cover. Any good cover? Good cover. There you are. Go get him, Han Solo. Oh, who to punch first? The question is... What was that?
At the same time. Punch all of them at the same time.
Oh, I could do that. I think that's what they call a grenade launcher?
Use what's called AoE fist.
Kinetic fists. Then we gotta get Isabel to cover, and there's not really any good one here. Oh, this could be very funny if this works. Beanbag that bitch? Damn it. Oh, I was so ready to arrest them. Hi, it's me. As long as it works, throwing dynamite is in fact a martial art. Alright, what do we got? We have an enforcer, a thug, a captain, a blue lantern, whatever that is. And I have a lot of AP to play with. Which one gives me cover? 'Cause I think that's what I need most of all, is good cover. That isn't really good cover. I think I'll deal with the thug. And miss a 90% chance to hit. Fucking stellar. Oh, now we're doing damage. Boy, howdy. That's the shit I wanted to see. Yeah, Zelput is a character from La Mulana. Where did Shao go? Am I blind, or...? Try Blue Lantern, try Mage, try Captain, Enforcer. I don't see Shao. I think the informant bolts as soon as you comment starts. Hard to catch her. Oh, she went right out the door, didn't she? Oh, I think we just gotta live with that. Either way, Wizard here needs to die. Also, wow, I didn't realize how bad the cooldowns were now. Kill shot! It's a kill shot! Light him up and miss all of your shots. Wow. What about you? Leave the grenade launcher for later, but for now, let's see if we could pop some guys. Okay, Isabel's more accurate than me. What was that noise? Wait a minute. Did she go this way, or did she go this way, I wonder? See if the team could handle their own before I go gallivanting about. Oh, this beanbag's been disappointing the shit out of me, dude. Holy crap. Well, that guy is super dead. I do like that the new attacks get new animations. And they're pretty sick. Big ass punch! Yeah, now I'm starting to feel like a physical adept. Those new skills are really killing it. Zhao Shi left her computer unlocked. She has the plastic-faced man's complete itinerary. That'll tell us everywhere he's going to be for the next 24 hours. Oh, she got away. That's 2 of the 15 karma gone. Ugh, that's unfortunate. I want to hit this guy hard and fast before anyone knows we're after him. This is good intel. Let's see where it takes us. First, the bad news. He has a security detail that drives him from place to place. 6 corporate agents plus the driver. Anytime he's on the move, he's in a reinforced bulletproof limo. He's also got a personal bodyguard with him that's with him at all times. But there are some windows of opportunities we could take advantage of. When he's going someplace, they drop him off and leave him in the hands of local security, if any. The bodyguards stay behind, but the other 6 guards stay with the driver. The detail itself is shared with a few executives, so they will be with someone else until his next pickup time. The convoys are on a schedule managed by the master system at Sang HQ. Okay. I got 3 good leads. I think we could run an extraction on any one of these. Number 1, the parking garage at Central Plaza. He's there for a meeting in an hour. We could grab him on the way out. It's still secured corporate property, so there will be resistance, but it's the weakest out of the corporate properties he visits. Plus side, there won't be any civilians. Access is limited, and he's listed as a VIP in their system. Not bad. An enclosed place means he can't run. Next lead. Next one's a bit personal. Mr. Plastic has a mistress, visits him twice a week. Today is that day. He'll be at the Fa Yuan Tower in 2 hours. It's not corporate property, but it is privately owned. The management company has a security contract, so we'll likely have a fight on our hands trying to get out of there with him in tow. It'll be less crowded, but the lady might complicate things. Interesting. Who goes for a plastic-faced guy? And door number 3? What's behind that? We'll have to grab him when he gets home tonight. Before he gets home tonight. Once he's home, we're screwed. He's staying at the Sang Executive Arcology, guarded 24/7 by corporate security, and 2 blocks from the HKPF HQ. The final location we could grab him is his last stop for the evening. It's a locally owned public Simpsons theater, a hole in the wall that specializes in underground horror flicks. He's there for an hour and 45 minutes, and his security detail will be all the way across town to pick someone else up. We'll probably have to deal with the local police only, but it is a public theater. It's going to be packed with people just trying to take in a movie. Any thoughts, Duncan? The garage is my pit. Cars in the garage will provide cover, limited entrance and exits to worry about reinforcements, small amount of collateral damage. The Simpsons in the parlor are going to end in blood. Maybe less of ours, but more of someone else's. I don't want that on my head. Gobbit? Garage doesn't have enough escape routes. Too secure. Too many potential reinforcements. I'm not digging it. Personally, I'd go with the mistress's place. It's like a giant middle finger right to his face. It sends a message. Don't fuck with us. Isabel? The parking garage. It's a compromise. The benefits outweigh the downsides, but it'll be a straight fight the whole way through. I'm actually kind of tempted for Gobbet's choice. But I don't want to risk any other civilians. That's the issue. I'd feel really bad if anybody got hurt during the process of that, even though it is very, you know, like, outstanding to be like, hey, we could get you anywhere, buddy. Fuck you. Let's take the parking garage. It's a middle ground and no innocence. Okay, the call's made. Can we save here? Thank goodness, because it is about that time of the evening, especially since I started late. So next time we play this, we're going to be in the middle of a mission. Oh boy. Though, man, getting Chi 7 is so fucking pivotal. Holy crap. It feels like my damage tripled as a result. Chi specifically. Close quarters makes this accurate, but Chi is like... Having a better quick strike and better manifest is absolutely pivotal.